Hi, Vernell. How are you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you for having me on, man. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's so good to have you. I had to dig deep to find you. Um, yeah, so you're based in LA. Tell us about LA.
Yeah, so I'm from Los Angeles, but I currently live in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Right. I mixed that up. LA is Los Angeles. Las Vegas is Las
Yeah, yeah,
Vegas, Nevada.
yeah.
Right.
LV. The
I,
weather's not quite as
I,
nice out here.
yeah, I haven't been to America yet, but yeah, one of these days I'm gonna reach out and come and see you guys in person. But
Yeah,
yeah, tell us a bit about yourself, Veno.
yeah. So I am. I've been involved in business in different avenues for quite some time. My first business, when I got out of high school, I was doing drop shipping, buying your standard courses, trying to figure out a way in entrepreneurship. But as time went on, I got involved in different businesses. I tried different things, and I've had a couple of successes. I've had plenty of failures, and one thing that's important to me is having a mentor, being able to get some of that guidance because I lacked a lot of that growing up for several reasons.
Yeah,
So getting into entrepreneurship allowed me to get some structure, which is strange because there's no real structure when it comes to entrepreneurship. But I had a sports background, so a lot of what I learned in sports, I transferred it over to entrepreneurship and salesmanship. I've done so many different things, and I'm only 24 years of age currently. And I've done a couple of things, and like I said, I've had a lot of success, and I've also had failures.
yeah. You mentioned sports there. That's interesting. What sports did you do? Which ones?
I played basketball, volleyball, and then ran track. My sport of choice, my main sport that I focused on was basketball.
Right. Yeah, that's huge in the States, isn't it? Um, I mean, basketball is it's the biggest sport in the States, right? Am I right?
Football is the biggest in the states. Basketball, I think,
Oh.
is a close second.
Mm, right. Okay. Well, football. That's American football because over here, you know
Yeah,
what we
American
call
football.
football, right? Right. Right. I mean that debate will keep going on as long as you guys keep calling it football. But
Yeah,
yeah, football for me is played with the foot, right? But
yeah, the soccer,
football
soccer we
for
call it.
Americans is played with right. So you mentioned that you have a couple mentors. So tell us in your opinion what is mentorship, right? And how do you see it? How do you see mentorship?
I see mentorship as something that's kind of been watered down over the past 10 years due to online gurus, people who sell courses, programs, and mentorships. When you truly have a mentor, that's somebody that you can go to, and there's somebody who you've appointed in a particular
Yeah,
category that has a certain level of expertise that you can trust to implement their information or knowledge to bypass the years of trial and error. So I think it's important if one, you don't want to waste time, and two, you would like more structure for what you're doing. Because if I just start a
yeah,
business, it makes it a whole lot easier if I contact or to get into some kind of partnership or relationship with somebody who has experience in that business. It makes
yeah,
things a lot easier. And
yeah,
you know what? That's not the right word. Not easier. It makes things a lot more simple because entrepreneurship and business is never easy. It never gets easy. You get a lot better, but it never gets
yeah,
easier. So that
yeah,
mentor aspect of it makes it a lot more simple. When you have a blueprint laid out for you or somebody that you can appoint, then it makes things, like I said, more simple. Where I think a lot of people go wrong is they depend on the mentor when the mentor should serve as a feedback loop for faster, quicker improvement. You can't,
Yeah.
like, I got into sales. That was my first thing that I got into after high school. I was doing door to door, and I worked at Hilton, making calls, selling vacation packages. So I had
Mm.
purchased a bunch of different sales programs. Jordan Belfort's Straight Line Persuasion is one that comes to mind. People will purchase a course or a program and expect, after maybe 2, 3, 4 days of implementing what's in the program, that they're going to be a millionaire or that they'll be successful. What it's
Yeah.
really for
Yeah.
is, once I made 1,000 calls, 500 calls, 2,000 calls, that's when I can go back to the mentor and say, hey, this is the result that I have. This is what I'm
Mm.
doing. These are what my calls sound like. Is there anything I can do to implement or upgrade what I'm doing? Tweak. Can you help me tweak this? People are saying that. But a lot of people, it's like going to the gym 2, 3 times and saying, hey, I haven't gotten buff yet. Where are my muscles?
And then you give up. Yeah.
You got 2 years
Yeah.
left. You got
Yeah.
really have a lifetime left of continuing to implement. Then you come back for tweaks here and there. But the real work is still on the mentee.
On demand. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're not willing to put in the real work, there's no point in getting a mentor. People see it as, that's why I corrected myself earlier when I said easier. It doesn't make it easier at all. It
Mm.
makes it more
Easier.
simple,
Yeah.
and it allows you to
Simple.
adjust over time. So
Yeah.
mentorship is important.
Yeah.
So Jordan Belfort, the Straight Line Persuasion, that was the first course that I purchased. First course that I purchased. My mom actually lended me the money. It was $997, typical course price. $997 for Jordan Belfort's Straight Line Persuasion. I started to implement what he was teaching between the tonality,
Mm.
the mirror and matching at such a high level. I was able to pay back all the money within a couple of weeks, months, and it paid dividends throughout years. I still reference that program to this day. But the first mentor in person that I had in person, where I had a legitimate, you can say connection, that might be the correct word for it, was a man named Brian Casella. I was 20 years old and I was getting ready to start my first business. I had just quit my jobs. This was right before the
Wow.
pandemic. This is right before the pandemic and everything shutting down. So people are already scared at this time. They're like, oh, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. We don't know what's
What's gonna
going on.
happen?
Everybody's inside. He's
Yeah.
hosting
There
an
was a lot
event.
of uncertainty at that time.
He's hosting an event. Now, keep in mind, I'm still investing in programs and courses and mentorship up until this point. He's holding an event in LA. I live in Las Vegas at the time. The
Mm-hmm.
whole world's getting ready to shut down. I didn't really have the money to take the flight down to LA or purchase his program, but I put the live event. It was a live event. I put it on a credit card and I put my flight on the credit card and I went down there. And that was my first aha moment, if you will, where I realized that
Yeah.
I could do this. But what was crazy is he was teaching offline strategies for the most part, door to door, cold calling, business to business. So when I get back from that event, the entire world is shut down. So everything that I just learned wasn't
You
going to
couldn't
work.
implement it.
It
Yeah.
wasn't going to work. Not at this time. So I have to
Yeah.
switch my entire avenue. I get online, and online becomes a huge thing at this point. I'm
Mm-hmm.
making 3 to 4 videos a day just on my phone. I'm 20 years old at the time. I'm still living with my mom. So I'm in my room. The videos are actually still up on my YouTube to this day. I'm living at my mom's house. and I'm recording the videos right in my room. I get an idea, start writing this book. I became well versed in credit at a pretty young age because of my mother. By the time I was 18, I had multiple credit cards. My mom added me as an authorized user. She taught me the basics of credit. I started to expand on that knowledge because I love reading books so much. I read all the time. But school, when I was in school, regular grade school, I was led to believe I hated reading. But that
Yeah.
wasn't true at
Why? Why
all.
was that?
I
Why?
believed I hated reading because what I was reading. I didn't care about the Great Gatsby. I didn't care
Hmm.
about the books that they put in front of me. But once I started to read books that piqued my interest,
Yeah. You.
I was like, I
It
want to, I
grew.
want to do more of this. So I'm already well versed
Yeah.
in credit at this time. So I write my first book. It's called Cracking the Code. I start promoting it on my phone, just doing videos on my phone, posting on Instagram, doing collaborations with people, all self promotion. I dropped the book. I have a screenshot of this because I dropped it in the group that I was in at the time, the mentorship with Brian Casella, the man that I mentioned earlier. So I learned as much as I could within like that first 2, 3 weeks of the pandemic. I think I read like 3 books a week, 2 books a week. I was just inside, so there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I became well
Yeah.
versed in
That
the online
was.
space. The online space, I start learning about email marketing, building a funnel, video
Hmm.
scripts, copywriting. I'm reading all these books. The big three from Russell Brunson: .com secrets, expert secrets, and traffic secrets. I'm reading those all the time. I'm also reading books from his colleagues, copywriting secrets. My first day after I released the book, after doing promotion just on my phone, videos just on my phone, not anything special, in my room that I grew up in, I made $1,000 the first day that I dropped the book. And I have a screenshot that I dropped in the group, and I can present that to anyone. That can be fact checked.
Wow.
$1,000
Well, the
my
first day
first
you
day.
said, first day
My
that you
first
dropped
day.
it. Wow. That's incredible. So where did these books sell? Was it Amazon? What kind of websites did you sell them?
I primarily sold them through my own mediums. So my own ClickFunnels pages.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
build out the page myself, fulfill the orders. For the most part, I sold them through my own
Right.
mediums. Now later on,
Right. Right.
like currently, I'm doing more stuff on Amazon to automate and not have to worry too much about fulfillment for my books nowadays. And Amazon has such a massive audience, so I don't have
Hmm.
to do what I did before. But it was through my own mediums at the time. So that was the power of mentorship. It made me take the jump. And I've been burned on a lot of courses, a lot of mentorships, a lot of programs. I actually did this podcast mentorship when I was running my show not too long ago, and the guy got me for 5 grand. Promised me that I would be on this show, that he would help me get on this guest. And really, it was just a mediocre course on things that I already was implementing and doing at a high level. And if anything, my show was bigger than this guy's. But I thought he was going to plug me with this person and that person, and none of it ended up happening. So it's not all
Yeah.
sunshine and rainbows when it comes to courses, mentorships. There's a lot
Yeah.
of
I was
predatory
gonna.
activity. There's a lot of predatory activity out there, big time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it only takes 2 or 3 great courses to nullify the effects of 100 bad courses. I've taken so many bad courses: drop shipping. I've taken bad copywriting courses, email marketing courses, but it only takes a handful of courses that are going to
So
allow you or give you the blueprint, especially if you're willing to work
actually.
to make some money.
Hmm.
So that segues me into my second mentor that I found whilst in the pandemic, Dominique Brown, I had some
Mm-hmm.
money. I had a little bit of money from all the books that I sold, but not a whole lot. I had to pay back a lot of debts from all the courses and mentorship that I had. I think I had like 15,000 in credit card debt. So I made like 5,000 off the book. I think I used like three of it to pay it down. Three of what I made to pay it down. So I'm still, it's not like I'm in the green yet. I'm still in the red. He has this course though. It's a $2,000 course. How to start your own credit repair agency. It's a 30-day agency program is what he called it. So me already knowing a little bit about credit, I'm like, this is something that I can get into. I'm sitting there and I remember I have this little desk set up right in my mom's house, right in my room, right in the corner. I can see outside the window. There's a window to my right. It's broad daylight. And I'm like, shoot, my hair's looking crazy because I haven't gotten a haircut in forever because the pandemic. And I'm like, shoot, I'm going to go ahead and take the leap of faith. I got out my American Express card, typed in my
Mm-hmm.
numbers, and got access to the program. Now, I think 2 or 3 months into that program, I'm already making $4,000 a month from the information that I learned. I implemented what he taught at such a high level that he added several modules to the course using me as an example.
Because of, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, wait, just before we carry on, yeah, you've already said a lot about yourself already. So basically, what I've learned in this 17 minutes that we've just started is that you are a salesman, you are an entrepreneur, you are a financial expert, you are an author, you are like, so you've got a variety of skills and you're still acquiring them, just like you said that you read a lot. And that's awesome. But bringing it back to mentorship now, one thing you said that was really important is that a mentee has to go
Right.
on their own journey, in as much as you have your mentor who you said is making things a bit simpler for you, but not easy. You
Right.
still have to go on your own journey. You still have to make your own mistakes. You still have to do your own thing. And you still have to learn from your own experiences personally. Because at the end of the day, the person who is mentoring you still have their own thing that they're doing and they're busy, right? So they won't focus all their time on you.
Right.
And so that brings me to the question then, like how detailed does a mentorship, does that relationship, how does it have to be? How detailed does it have to be? To what extent does a mentor have to go to impact knowledge or teach their mentee something? Like how detailed? Is it like an apprenticeship kind of situation, or is it a situation where it's based on what they want? So in your own opinion, based on your own experiences, how detailed does that relationship have to be for it to make sense and for it to have an
Yeah.
impact?
To be real, it depends on how much money you have to spend nowadays. To get more access to people, it costs more money.
Mm.
So, what do you have to invest currently? Let's say you only have 500, maybe $1,000. You're going to start with just courses and programs that allow you or give you a
Yeah.
blueprint that you can implement. Now, if you implement that at a high level, you'll have more money and you'll use more money to get more access. And once you get more access, you'll acquire greater knowledge. And with that greater knowledge, you'll earn even more money. Then,
Mm-hmm.
with that greater knowledge and even more capital, you can start to deploy that to other businesses or more access. So it's a ladder. It's a ladder that you have to go up. No one,
So it
you're
takes
not
money
gonna
to make
walk.
money.
Yeah, you're not
It
gonna
takes
walk
money to
into
make
any
money.
room. Exactly. You're not gonna
Yeah.
walk into any room and go up to the richest person in there and say, "Hey, you need to teach me everything that you know and make me your mentee."
Yeah.
This isn't Disney Channel. This is real life. This is real
Yeah.
life. People have other obligations to tend to. So people, especially young people, feel entitled. Oh, let me take you out to lunch and you teach me everything you know. How much value do you think lunch has to somebody who earns millions of dollars a year?
Mm,
Probably
yeah.
not a
Yeah.
lot.
Not a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, you have to have something that this person is investing in as well, right? There has to be
Yes,
something about you.
you have to be valuable. I've connected with a lot of people
Yeah.
who are 100 times my net worth, 1,000 times my net worth, because I had a platform that they can promote their business on. You have to become a valuable person as well. You going around
Mm,
and looking to take from everyone is never going to work.
work. Yeah. Yeah. Very, 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 yeah, very, 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 very important message there. Very, and it brings me to the question then: how difficult is it for a young person to break through? Because you elaborated some of the challenges you had. You didn't have no money. You were still living with your parents. You were 20, and all that. For me at 20, I think I was still at uni. I was still on my first degree. I finished
Right.
my first degree at 21. Back in Nigeria. So how difficult then is it for a young person to to break through and succeed and find someone that will bring them on their wing and show them? How difficult is it in this day and age?
I think it can be pretty difficult, but it can be done because you brought up age. How I saw my age, I seen it as an advantage. When I would connect, especially with older dudes, they would see themselves in me and want to help me
Hmm.
out even more. So it can be
Yeah.
difficult to find somebody, especially in this day and age of just courses and scammers left and right. But
Yeah. There's a lot. There's
if
a
you
lot
can
of
find
yeah.
somebody who participates in the business more than they participate in the promotion and sale of the business in the form of a course, you have a pretty good mentor.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you know, I've been in a corporate world for basically all through my career, and I've had a couple mentors. The first place I worked, one of the things that really challenged me was there were lots of chartered accountants in that industry, in that organization. There were lots of them. Lots and lots of people in the finance department were chartered accountants. They had SCCA, ICANN. They had some of them had CFA, American version of the whole thing, and
Right.
that inspired me. That really motivated me to make sure that I qualify as well and become a professional accountant, which I eventually did. Personally. And today I can say
Yeah.
yes, I'm an ACA. So in terms of career development, right? I don't know if I think you've been an entrepreneur, right? All through. So I'm not sure if
Not
you're the
all
person
through.
in terms of career development. How important is a mentor? You know, is it important, or do you have to just rely on what you know? Because at the end of the day, well, you've been to uni, and then maybe they'll teach you a few things when you're starting a job, right? So is it
Right.
important to get a mentor or not? What do you think?
So I haven't been an entrepreneur all the way through my career. I actually there was a year long break. It was all of this year up until this point. What I say up until this point, maybe like 2 months ago. But the last business that I had, it was a media business. We were interviewing for former athletes who are entrepreneurs now. My partner decided that he no longer wanted to participate in the business, and it made things a lot more difficult to run it on my own. So I ended up getting back into sales. I got back into
Yeah,
sales in the
you
form of
had.
time. So I started selling timeshare. My plan, and it's come to fruition at this point, my plan was to sharpen my salesman skills while
Mm-hmm.
I plan out my next business that I plan to launch. So
Yeah.
this is all happening during 2024. So finding a mentor was real important for me. There was this man that I ran into at at the job that I was at who he took a liking to me for whatever reason.
Mm.
I was very dedicated when I first started at the job, selling timeshare. His name is David Zimba, and I would always go to him when this person said they wouldn't buy for this reason, or this person said this, or I'm getting this kind of feedback. Every presentation that I've done, why they bought, why they didn't buy, how much I did on the month, and sales volume, all of that is right here. And I got that suggestion to track and measure it down to the T from him. And it helped me, you know, make the money that I needed to get back into entrepreneurship.
So basically, keep record keeping is very important as well for growth.
Yes. If there's some place that you want to go with your career, you find somebody who's already done that. They can make the path a
Yeah.
lot more simple for you. And you can use it as I guess you can say inspiration for where you want to be eventually.
Right. 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 Very, yeah. Just like the story I shared, right? I had lots of people that motivated me, that made me want to grow, that made me I basically wanted to be like them. I was young at the time. I was 21 at the time. And so yeah, that I second that statement from you and 100%. So for everyone watching us out there, these things are very important. You need to keep records. You need to look for someone who has achieved that thing that you want to achieve and follow their footsteps. So now let's get into like setting a goal. So as a young person, as young entrepreneurs or young people who are going into different fields, sometimes you say, oh, I want to get to this. I want to be captain of this industry, right? I want to be the next Elon Musk. I want to be to build the next huge fintech in Africa or in Nigeria or whatever in America.
Uh-huh.
So what's the importance of a mentor in setting a goal? Does a mentor have to help you set a goal, or is it something that comes from within?
I think it should be something that comes from within because you can take a goal, depending on how committed you are to it. You can take a goal to somebody who may be a mentor to you, and they say to you that it's not achievable, it's not likely. But if your convictions are there,
Yeah,
the only persons whose validation you need for your goals is yourself.
it's you. Yeah,
But the
it's
mentor
a
can help
punchline,
you.
right?
A mentor can help you set
Yeah,
what's the word for it? Not landmarks, but maybe checkpoints. Your
yeah.
first 100,000.
Targets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your first
targets.
100,000. Your first 200 clients. You should take it incrementally. I believe. I usually set my goals up quarterly. I have quarterly, 1 year, 3 year, and 10 year. 10 year keeps you
Yeah.
motivated for the
So
long term big picture. 5 year keeps you motivated for the second half of your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, however, first or second half. Those year
mm,
long goals are things that you can track actively down to the T, and those quarterly goals keep you motivated, I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So certain timelines Very important. You see, I'm taking notes of this, and I want the people out there watching us. And I hope you're taking notes. You need to keep records. You need to set timelines. I need to obviously reevaluate those timelines as well, right? To know if you've met them, and then
Yeah, you
maybe
have to have a
set the
deadline for
next one.
everything.
Set the next one.
There has to
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
deadline.
Very, very. Mm. So how about in terms of support then? Do you need a mentor for support? Or or is it something that you have to motivate yourself? You have to support yourself in this day and age where a lot of people are too worried about their mental health, mental capacity, and all these things. Where does a mentor come in terms of support? Is it important?
A mentor is not your therapist. They're not meant to just hold your hand
Right.
through everything. You need to be able to regulate your own emotions, trials and tribulations through your business, because it's going to happen. There's no stock in history that just goes up and up and up and up and up. It does not exist.
Yeah.
When I had to get back into the workforce, I struggled with my mental health because for so long I didn't have anybody telling me what to do. I didn't have to work with people. I didn't have to meet quotas. Of course I did for my own business. It's a little bit different when you're having a meeting with yourself versus with 2 or 3 bosses. But it was something that I needed to get through because it made me a lot stronger. And I didn't depend on my mentors to get me through it. I built up that mental callus and that resilience
Yeah.
to continue going. Your mentor can't grant you that. That's something that's earned over time.
Yeah. 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 It's obviously from doing something and failing at it, getting back up, that's how you build. If you've not tried, you don't know, right? So yeah, I agree with that one again. um how about building a network or a community? I mean, we're all trying to build a network, right? I contacted you on Instagram and all that, and today we're talking. Thanks to technology, thanks to advancement of some of these things, right? But I haven't met you before. So, in terms of building a community, building a network, trying to expand your horizon, trying to meet new people, do you need a mentor for these things, or are these skills that you need to just read or you need to develop over time? How do you acquire these skills?
You need to get out there and talk to people. There's no amount of mentor in the world that's gonna help you strategically network, even though some people promote that. That's not really a thing. If you have something of value to offer to other people, networking is going to be incredibly easy. You go out there, you talk to people, you go to different events. One avenue that I used quite a bit was Toastmasters. It was a public speaking group that I met a lot of my closest friends in. We helped each other improve on public speaking. As you get into the real world, especially entrepreneurship, things become more transactional. And if you don't have anything to transact with, it doesn't matter what networking event you go to or what course you take. No one's going to care. You better have something of value.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge point line there, and honestly, I cannot. How do they say? I can't agree less or agree more. I don't know how they say it, but I think that's facts, because at the end of the day, I think we're all looking for something, right? We're
Yeah,
all we're all in this for something, and
absolutely.
it's about how do I get where I'm going to? How do I achieve what I want to achieve? And
Right.
sometimes there has to be something that will give for
And
somebody's
if you
time.
can help people, I met a lot of people, like I said, through helping them promote their business on my podcast or helping them get their social media together. People who didn't know a whole lot about social media, I'm helping them create clips, things of that nature, and it adds value. Easier to connect when you have something that people want.
Yeah, facts. Right. I mean, we're heading to the home stretch now. So this is going to be two questions in one. Role models, right? Let's discuss role models. What are their importance? What's the importance of having a role model? And then, you know, in your own opinion, who, well, in this case, we'll say role model slash mentor, right? So, in your own opinion, do you have any person who you see as a role model, who you see as a mentor? And it doesn't have to be someone you have a personal relationship with, maybe
Right.
somebody you admire from afar, So, yeah, do you have any, and what is the importance of this?
So I think a role model is a lot more important when you're young. As you get older, your role model should be your potential and the person that you can be, in my opinion. You can have people that you look to for advice, but your true role model as you get older should be the version of you that's done everything that you said that you were going to do. That's the person that you should be looking up to. When you're younger, I think that can help tremendously guiding your worldview. I spoke about
Yeah.
this with my mom not too long ago. I think I was 7 or 8 at the time, and my mom was friends with this NBA G League, D League player. So that's like not NBA, but right under the NBA. So it's like the damn nears, people who are almost in the NBA. She had a friend who was in the G League. He gave us tickets. He played for the Lakers G League team. He said if we stayed there after the game was over and just sat in our seats, we can stay and watch Lakers versus Utah. I think at the time, like I said, I was like 7 or 8 years old. And I got the chance to see Kobe Bryant at that time. I got the chance to see Kobe Bryant score 60 points against the Utah Jazz. Thereafter, the game
Wow.
was over. After the game was over, I got to go into his locker room. I got to take photos with the Lakers players and the Utah Jazz players. That moment, I didn't know it at the time because I was so young. That shaped my worldview. I wanted to be just like Kobe. Not as far as just a basketball player, because I love playing basketball. I like playing basketball growing up, but I was never in love with basketball. I was always in love with competition. I wanted to compete.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I love to this day. I love competing, measuring myself against
Yeah.
the best,
Against somebody.
against the best. So I started to adopt a lot of his worldviews, Kobe Bryant, at a young age because of that experience. So a large part of where my work ethic came from, where my mindset came from, was just that one experience. Because
Yeah.
after I seen that, I'm watching Kobe documentaries, I'm watching Kobe on
Yeah.
ESPN. I'm watching how he carries himself with such a high level of professionalism. When he would come into the games before, they walk through the tunnel and the NBA players will be dressed up. They'll have like Gucci this, or they have these crazy outfits. One thing I noticed about Kobe is that he was about business. He showed up in a suit and a briefcase every single game.
Single time. Right.
And when I seen that, I was like, I
Yeah.
want to be like that.
So
So that
basically,
was
he stood
important to
out.
me.
He stood out from the crowd. He was different from the crowd. Yeah. By the way, rest in peace to Kobe. May
Absolutely.
he continue to rest. He was an absolute legend of the game. And yeah. Right. I mean, I have just a few more things to just talk about. So, I mean, based on the way our society is now, where kids just want to do what they want to do, and everyone is just free to do whatever they want to do. I don't think the society is the way it used to be. So, do you think that uh, it should be compulsory that young people get some level of mentorship, maybe in the school system, starting from like high school and junior school and all the secondary schools? Do you think maybe the government, there should be a
Absolutely.
law or legislation or something where states can make it compulsory that kids get somebody that will guide them?
Absolutely.
apart from
There's a
just
lot of
their normal
children.
academic
There's a lot of children that are just
work.
getting lost, following the crowd, whatever's popular on TikTok, whatever YouTubers are
Yeah,
doing, and we need different avenues. We need children to see different career paths, especially. There's so many people that just want to be, especially, young black dudes that want to be basketball
yeah,
players. Everyone wants to be either a basketball player or a rapper. If we had somebody that came into the schools that pulled up in a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini, looking fly, fresh, professional, suited up, and was a real estate broker, I think we would have more kids that would want to be real estate brokers or insurance
mm,
brokers or lawyers, so on and so
yeah,
forth. But the images that we
yeah,
see are just
yeah,
the images that are online. So if we can get more kids to see that, hey, you can make money. Like, no one ever told me that I could make $200,000-$300,000 selling books. No one ever told me that, but you definitely
yeah,
can, and I've done
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, very, very important to have. I had one when I was doing my masters. I had this lady that was brilliant. She was from, I think it's Estonia or something. We met at Swansea, up in Swansea in Wales, when I was doing my MSc. She was brilliant. She was good. See, today we still keep in touch. You know, right. So it is. I think it's very, very important for people to put themselves out there and just try and build that community. Try and just reach out to people. If there's something that you're not good at, look for somebody that has done that thing, that has achieved it, that can help you to get to where you're going to. I mean, just one bonus question before we wrap up. I know we're just about 40 minutes now. So what are the role of parents then as mentors? Because I know parents can be everything, can be anything, mom and dad. What are their roles as mentors to kids? Um, you know, just quickly before we wrap up. What do you think
yeah,
are the
so
roles of parents?
parents are your first mentors, and they will shape your worldview. So it's important that while you're shaping the worldview of a child, that you're shaping it into something positive, because that's where you're gonna see your first. That's the first people that teach you
You
anything,
see.
really. It's important
Facts,
that
facts.
they instill positivity into in all aspects of your life, and they exercise patience, and they use moments to teach you.
Right, right. Yeah, very, very, very true there. I mean, that's it, man. Thanks, man, for coming on the channel. Like, I really, really appreciate you.
Yeah,
I
no
appreciate
problem.
what you do. You're a lot of things, author. So tell us then. Tell us just before we wrap up. Tell us where
Yeah,
we can find you. Tell us if there's anything coming up that maybe the people out there should look out for. Your handles. Obviously, I'm going to put your handles in the description below for people that want to follow your work. So just talk to
yeah.
us
So
before we wrap up.
you can find all of my books on Amazon. My main focus right now is my finance book for children called Carter's Credit Lesson. It's a book about finance for children that introduces the concept of credit to them very early on. So you can find that on Amazon, as well as all of my other books right on Amazon. And you're gonna put my Instagram at the in the link in the description, and my YouTube as well is
Yeah.
Vernell Watts, and you guys can find me on all major platforms. And I speak about topics like this: entrepreneurship, making more money, overcoming adversity, things like this on all of my channels. So feel free to follow me and check out, like I said, check out my books. That's some of my children's books are some of the best work that I've done since I've been on this planet. So that's something I'm incredibly proud of. So go check out Carter's Credit Lesson. You can find it on Amazon.
Thanks, man, for coming on, and we'll see you. We'll see you next time.
Yes, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching the video, and special thanks to Veno for coming onto the channel. today to chat with me. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.